Has passed through. The tarp is off the field, and we will have baseball tonight, just minutes away. The Detroit Tigers and the Chicago White Sox. And for the White Sox, they have really struggled. The man in the middle of their lineup is Adam Dunn, who checks in with 23 home runs. But Dunn and the rest of the White Sox will have a challenge here tonight facing Justin Verlander, and some of their hitters talk about that challenge this evening.
I mean, I don't sit here and say, I'm so excited about facing Verlander today, but it's not something that is foreign to us. So we know we're up for a big challenge, and hopefully we can find a way to scratch some out.
He's a dominating pitcher. I mean, he's that kind of guy that, when your offense is struggling like we are, I mean, he can come in there and throw a complete game against you, and shut you out. So I mean, he's got that kind of stuff, and we just got to go out there and battle and see what we can do.
And we'll see what they can do indeed here tonight. Justin Verlander taking the hill for the Tigers, trying to build on a couple of really good starts. And here is the starting lineup that he will face tonight for the Chicago White Sox, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Alejandro De Aza leading off in center field. Then Alexi Ramirez at short. Alex Rios in right field. Adam Dunn cleaning up. Keppinger, Gillespie, Viciedo to follow, then Beckham and Josh Fagley doing the catching tonight. And they will face Verlander, who is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Verlander coming off a really good start. His last one in Toronto, he got his 9th win of the season. His earned run average at 3.5, 419 strikeouts and 41 walks. He had a real good fastball 5 days ago. He got up to 98, 99. And of course, he has those really good secondary pitches to go along with that overpowering fastball. Beaumont Health System will sponsor the starting defensive alignment for the Detroit Tigers this evening. Tuiasa Sopo getting his second consecutive start in left. Jackson and Hunter also in the outfield. Mickey Peralta Perez in the infield along with the Prince, and Avila back behind the plate tonight.
Early in his career, Justin Verlander had all kinds of trouble against the Chicago White Sox, but the tables have turned in recent years, and JV has absolutely manhandled them.
Well, lately what Verlander will do, he may only go about 50% with his fastball, then the other pitches will be a mixture of his slider, his curveball, and his changeup, whereas early in his career, he tried to overpower them. About 75% of the pitches he threw to the White Sox were fastballs, and they had a really good fastball hitting team.
Well, a bit of a late start here tonight because of the rain, but we do have baseball as Alejandro De Aza stands in against Verlander. The Tigers White Sox opening up a 3-game series here at Comerica. And the first pitch of the ball game is a strike called on De Aza.
Third consecutive day that the White Sox have seen a really good pitcher. They saw David Price a couple of days ago, Matt Garza last night, and now one of the best in the game in Justin Verlander.
De Aza batting .255. He looks at a Verlander pitch, a fastball that missed outside, and the count goes to 1-1.
De Aza having a nice year. He's got 10 home runs out of that leadoff slot, and he also has driven in 40 this year.
However, he has been slumping lately, just 3 for his last 20, and Verlander hoping to keep him in that tailspin. Strike called 1-2. 10 steals as well. And De Aza trying to get it started for the White Sox here this evening. Ramirez and Rios to follow. Here is Verlander's 1-2. Popped him up. Shallow right center field. Austin Jackson coming in, and one gone. De Aza kept off the bases. We'll bring up Alexi Ramirez. Ramirez batting in the 2 slot. Hitting .317 over his last 25 games. He's got 8 home runs career against Detroit. They are telling us officially now a 38-minute rain delay for the start of this one tonight. And Ramirez lifts one in the air into shallow right field. It's going to be a tough play, but a nice running play by Hernan Perez, who was just called up to replace Santiago, placed on the DL today. So the youngster makes a fine running play.
Hernan Perez was an A-ball last year and was the best second baseman in Lakeland. And you got a chance to see his range right there.
The native Venezuelan Hernan Perez. And with 2 gone, that'll bring up Alex Rios. Rios at 267. He's hit 11 homers this year. And Verlander starts him off with a strike, 0-1.
And Rios' name continues to come up in trade rumors, and just like quite a few other Chicago White Sox players this year, especially the veteran players, and because they're not having a good year.
There's a base hit to right field. He goes the other way. And you would expect that'll be the case leading up to the trading deadline, as the White Sox apparently now have to look toward the future instead of contending this year. They just have gone in a tailspin, having lost 10 of their last 12. Robin Ventura's team also losing 4 straight to the Chicago Cubs, crosstown rivals. Here is Adam Dunn. 23 home runs, 57 RBIs, but a .203 batting average.
Tigers pitchers have had a lot of success against Dunn the last couple of years by throwing him fastballs above the belt buckle. He has had a very difficult time of catching up to the mid-90s heaters that some of their starters feature. 3 for 20 in his career against Verlander with 10 strikeouts.
Rios down there at first base, 17 steals this year. And Verlander trying to keep him close. Just underway here in the first inning after a 38-minute rain delay. White Sox batting. And Dunn looks at a ball outside, 1-0. Dunn has been able to raise his average to .203 because of a recent hot streak. He was in the 150 range, but over his last 25 games or so has hit well over 300. And a ball outside, 2-0. And although he strikes out a lot, he continues to give the White Sox that potential to put a run on the board very quickly. 23 home runs. Rios chased back. Gave you some of the numbers on Verlander against the White Sox. Overall, though, he is 14-10. He beat him twice last year. Lifted back out of play, 2-1. Verlander's last 2 starts on the road trip, in Toronto and Tampa, he picked up a win and a no decision, but certainly pitched well enough to win both. Gave up a late home run in the game to Tampa, which tied the game up late, and Tigers eventually lose that contest. And a no decision for Justin in that one. And while it seems like a down year, you look at his numbers and he's won 9 games. ERA of 3.5. The 2-1.
And Justin's got to get that fastball up just a little bit higher if he wants strike 3. And Dunn more than likely can't lay off that pitch. He's had a difficult time of doing so in his career against Verlander.
Two and 2 on Adam Dunn. We're in the first inning. 2-out single by Alex Rios. First meeting of the season between these two teams, and it comes on July the 9th. Ball high. He laid off there. And the count fills now 3-2. They play behind the runner at first base on 3-2. He'll be on the move. And there he goes. And it's low, ball 4. And now the White Sox have something going with 2 away. Single and a walk. Bring up Jeff Keppinger, who is serving as the designated hitter for Chicago. Keppinger right now sits at 242. A couple of home runs this year in 69 games.
Pretty good fastball hitter. If Justin decides to throw him a fastball, he needs to locate it. especially on the first pitch.
Back out of play 0-1.
And Keppinger did get the fastball, but he was a little tardy on it. It was at 92 miles an hour.
Keppinger has worn a lot of different uniforms. Royals, Cincinnati, Houston, San Francisco, New York, Tampa, and now Chicago. Bouncing ball third base side. Cabrera has it there. They get the force to end the inning. No runs, a hit. 2 men left. On our way to the bottom of the first. No scores. We go to the bottom of the first. There's Hernan Perez, who was called up today. He'll be in the starting lineup tonight for the Tigers, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And Jim Leland tonight, Jackson, Hunter, and Cabrera, your top three. Fielder Martinez, who, by the way, is heating up. And Peralta, your middle three. Tuiasa Silva batting seventh. Perez in the eighth spot. Alex Avila will bat ninth, and they will face the left-handed offerings of Jose Quintana.
Pretty good pitcher. Does not get a lot of run support. He's won 3 games this year, and he's lost 2. And he's had 17 starts, so that's a lot of no decisions. A really good ERA at 3.69. Fastball gets up to 94 miles an hour. They're also cut the fastball, a curveball, and a changeup in the 4-pitch mix that Quintana features.
This guy is the king of no decisions this year. 12 of his 17. And a strike called on Austin Jackson.
If you go back to the beginning of last year, 22 no decisions for Quintana, which leads the major leagues.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. AJ pops it in the air into right field. Rios coming over along with the center fielder, and that's De Aza who makes the play.
Let's take a look at the starting defensive alignment for the Chicago White Sox, just sponsored by Tim Hortons. Viciedo, De Aza, and Rios in the outfield. Gillespie, Ramirez, Beckham, and Dunn in the infield. And is it Fagley?
Fagley, you're correct.
Fagley behind the plate. This kid just got called up a few days ago, and he's already hit a couple of homers.
Yeah, they say wait till you see him back. So we're looking forward to seeing Josh Fagley today for the White Sox. Torrey checks his swing, strike one. Hunter batting .304 with 42 RBIs. Got 27 career home runs against the White Sox. A lot of those coming in his days with Minnesota in the same division. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pretty good road trip for Mr. Hunter. 15 hits on that road trip. And hit one of the biggest home runs, even though the ball game ended in a loss for the Tigers. They scrapped back from a 6-1 deficit on Sunday. Tied it up with a late home run by Hunter, and then eventually lost. Torrey shoots this one foul down the left field line.
The road trip did not begin all that well for the Tigers, but they won 6 of their last 7 games on the trip. by and large, the damage that Torrey Hunter was doing in the number 2 slot. 429 average, 2 homers, and 11 ribbies.
Now Quintana ready with the 2-2 pitch, and here it is. Swing and a miss. Dusted him with a fastball on the outside part of the plate. 2 gone. First strikeout of the game for Quintana. Now the big fella, Miguel Cabrera. .364 right now. Cabrera with 90 RBIs.
If you're the White Sox and you're seeing Miguel Cabrera for the very first time, if you look up at that scoreboard and see 364, 28, and 90, you think there's some kind of a mistake.
The scoreboard's messed up or something. There's a line drive and a leaping play by Gillespie at third. And the inning is over. 1-2-3, go the Tigers. A part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by Dan and Oikos and Stonyfield Yogurt. Dan and Oikos Greek yogurt, too delicious to be nutritious. Back here at the ballpark as we go to the top of the second here at Comerica. No score. Tigers and White Sox finally for the first time this year. And Justin Verlander allowed a single and a walk in the first. Now it's Connor Gillespie to lead things off here in the second. Gillespie, then Viciedo, and then Beckham. 253 this year for Gillespie. And JV's first pitch of the second inning is in for a strike. Verlander threw 15 first inning pitches. Quintana needed just 8, as a matter of fact, to get through the Tigers' order. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Gillespie.
Real good fading changeup there by Verlander to Gillespie. Circle change.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. That didn't take long. 1 out. Verlander's first strikeout of the game. Well, you think this is late in the season before these two teams have played. Think again. How about in 2004, they didn't play their first game until July the 23rd. This is since '69, the latest divisional meetings. But it's kind of strange to realize that down the stretch here, these teams will be playing an awful lot. Here is Dion Viciedo. I guess the one thing to consider about this, Rod, is that if the White Sox continue to struggle and they decide to sell off some parts at the trading deadline, with all the times the Tigers play them down the stretch, that could be an advantage for Detroit.
It's a great point.
Dunn's name is rolled around. Rios as well. Peavy. Little Peavy on the DL. Crane. Fouled straight back. You look at the Sox right now, they're 18 under.
At one point in time, they were 24-24. And since that point, they've only won 10 games.
That is some quick addition right there. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You can continue to expand the strike zone on Viciedo, who is struggling this year after playing some pretty good baseball last year. A lot of pop in that bat, but he is just swinging and missing quite often and really chasing a lot of pitches out of the strike zone.
Like that. Right on cue. A couple of strikeouts for Verlander.
This ball was never a strike. I mean, it started as a ball and it ended up as a ball, and you can see how much he is struggling.
So with 2 outs, here is Gordon Beckham. He sits safely in his last 4. And Beckham right now batting .338. Lifted back out of play 0-1.
And Beckham looks like he's in much more of a crouch this year than I remember him being the last couple of years. And we gave you some numbers earlier. Verlander's last 13 starts against the White Sox, he's 12-1. So most of the numbers that are put up today against Verlander, they're not going to be pretty.
Beckham lines one toward right field. Hunter is on the run. He'll knock it down on 1 hop. And Beckham is in with a 2-out single. Well, for as good as Verlander is and has been in recent years, from 2005 to 2008, in his first 14 starts against Chicago, numbers were not good.
You know, there's a couple of teams in the division that Verlander did not get off to good starts as far as his career is concerned. The Cleveland Indians are another team where he really struggled early in his career, but he was able to right the ship, and he has a lot of success against both of those teams now, or both of the White Sox and the Indians.
Here's Josh Fagley, recently called up from their AAA team, and he looks at a ball inside. A very stocky build for Josh Fagley. Here's why he was called up.
He had a good spring training, too. I mean, he was one of the final cuts in spring training, and he went down to Charlotte. He did pout and put up some good numbers, and because Tyler Flowers has struggled a lot this year, and Fagley getting an opportunity. Robin Ventura said that the transition for Fagley was rather smooth because he spent so much time with the big league club in spring training.
Out of Terre Haute, Indiana, played his college ball at Indiana in the Big Ten. Here's the 1-0. Way inside. 2 balls, no strikes.
You can pitch him away, especially a guy like Verlander that has real good command with the fastball, and he can spot that curveball and slider on the outside black because Fagley has that open stance. And a lot of guys that start with an open stance, they tend to close up a little bit to square those shoulders up. He really doesn't close up. He kind of stays open, which means he's looking inside.
That is popped up. Straight up. Who wants it? Fritz says, I'll take it, and he does. Fagley is out, so the White Sox. To this point, and the search is on. Think you have what it takes to join Brittany and Stephanie as the new Fox Sports Detroit girl? Well, go to foxsportsdetroit.com, upload your photos, and submit your video. Well, the Tigers now will try to get something started here against Jose Quintana. It'll be Fielder to start things off. Prince swings on the first pitch and pops it up. Shallow left field. And Viciero comes rumbling in to make the play. One gone. That'll bring up Victor Martinez. It has been very efficient so far for Quintana. Only 9 pitches.
In last night's game, Victor Martinez came up with the big knock against Allen, one of their relief pitchers. And that was after Allen walked Prince, and he also walked Miguel Cabrera. Victor came up big.
We really owe Victor big time for that, because shortly after that game ended last night, it was pouring in Cleveland. Cats and dogs, as a matter of fact, and so it ended just in the nick of time. It's a 10-game hitting streak now for Victor. 390 in that stretch. Bouncing ball, left field, base hit, make it an 11-game hitting streak.
Not a bad pitch by Quintana. The ball's at the bottom of the zone, and Victor just simply puts barrel on it and finds a hole on the left side of the infield. It's a cut fastball that Quintana features. He also has a four-seamer. Velocity with the four-seam fastball gets up to 94. He's right around 90 miles an hour with the cutter.
Now Johnny Peralta. Ground ball back up the middle of the center, base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Tigers.
On back-to-back fastballs, and that's one of the things that Quintana has been doing a lot of this year. Don Cooper, the pitching coach, has gotten him to buy into his fastball. He told him your fastball is plenty good enough at 94 and 92. Look at the strikeouts he's getting this year on the fastball opposed to last year. He had 24.6% of the strikeouts this year are coming on fastballs, whereas last year, not so many. Breaking ball heavy did he throw last year, Quintana. There's Don Cooper.
Longtime White Sox pitching coach. Tigers have come out swinging the bats here against Quintana. They're not hanging around. 3 batters and only 4 pitches thrown in this inning. Tuiasa Sopo batting .333 with men in scoring position. And he looks at ball one, up and in.
And big hit last night for Tuiasa Sopo. He tied the score at 2. It stayed that way until the 10th inning. That was his first hit and first game since coming off the disabled list.
1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes on Tuiasa Sopo. He's in safely in his last 3. And a .342 batting average for Matt. Trying to give the Tigers an early lead here. Tuiasa Sopo has been a nice find for the Tigers. That's in for a strike, 2-1. It's not easy to do what he has done. Even when he wasn't on the disabled list, his playing time was sporadic. Yet he's had some big pinch hits this year. He's been able to go 3, 4, 5 days without playing and then give Jim Leyland some really good at-bats. 18 RBIs this season. Omar Infante was placed on the disabled list before the game.
That was probably the best thing for Omar because they probably couldn't use him the next 3 days. And so why not give him the next 6 off?
That'll get by the catcher Fagley, move the runners up.
And hope that Omar is ready to go after the break.
Yeah, Jim was saying today we just couldn't go anymore with just 1 extra infielder. Pass ball is the ruling. A base hit could get you a couple. Omar shouldn't need much more time than when his DL time is up. It's retro back to the 4th of July. And of course, you'll remember the injury, Colby Rasmus with that aggressive slide at second to flip him like a pancake.
Looks like Robin Ventura going to play the infield in, going to make the Tigers make a decision on whether they're going to come home on a ground ball, which they probably will not with Victor Martinez over at third base.
Got him, strike 3 on the outer edge. That was a good pitch there by Quintana.
Well, we just told you that Quintana really likes his fastball. He's getting a lot of strikeouts with his fastball these days. And so the Tigers hitters need to look for that heater if they fall behind. Outstanding location with that fastball at 90 miles an hour.
Hernan Perez will stand in now. First major league at bat of this season. Perez made his major league debut last year in Cincinnati. Fouled straight back. June 10th. Off Alfredo Simon.
I got a nice scouting report on Perez from Bruce Fields, who is the minor league hitting coordinator. He says he's an outstanding defensive player with great range, very aggressive hitter with some occasional gap power.
That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, he watches all the kids.
Here's the 0-1. Now it's 0-2. Perez at Erie played 59 games at second. He also played 27 games at short.
Last year, there was no second baseman in the Florida State League that had a better fielding percentage than Perez. So he can flat out pick it at second base.
The 0-2, he thought about it.
He came up for what, a couple days last year in Cincinnati?
2 days. That was it. 2 days worth of meal money.
That's good money.
Yeah, it is.
2 days of big league salary, too.
Yeah, which is even more impressive. Here's the 1-2. Up and in. He swings and tips it into the glove to end the inning. Tigers threaten, do not score. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. By Arby's, try the mighty taste of Arby's Mighty Minis today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price period. Bell Tire. Rainy evening here at the ballpark tonight. We were delayed by 38 minutes to the start of this one, but right now no score as we go to the top of the third inning. There are some scattered umbrellas. A little bit of mist falling, not really anything major right now. Verlander back to the hill. And here in the third, he faces the top of the Chicago lineup. Alejandro Diaz leads it on. Showing bunt. And strike one is called by Eric Cooper, the home plate umpire. 40 driven in for Diaz. Way inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Diaz already has hit 10 home runs. There is only one other leadoff man in baseball that has more home runs than Alejandro, and that would be Shin-Soo Choo, who has 12. Verlander's 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Verlander a couple of punch outs. He's given up a couple of hits. He's walked 1. Searching for his 10th win of the season. Bouncing ball first base side. That is a fair ball. Prince will handle it. 1 gone. Back to the studio we go for a game break. Here's Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thanks. Here it is scoreless. Manny Machado continues to swing a hot bat.
Nearly 40 doubles. Going to his first All-Star game in New York next week.
Machado is second to Miguel Cabrera in hits, or at least was coming in. Miggy at 125, Machado at 122.
He made a play a couple days ago at that third base position that he plays that he looked like a young Brooks Robinson.
Ramirez cuts and misses.
It was a phenomenal play going into foul territory, throwing back across his body with a lot of arm strength. He made some real nice plays against us when they were here.
He sure did. What a talent. Called up from Double-A last year. Bouncing in, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ramirez.
And he's playing out of position. He's a shortstop by trade.
He'll probably change in a couple of years, won't it?
Well, it depends on how long Hardy stays there. Once Hardy leaves, or if they decide not to re-sign him after next year, and Machado will take over at short.
Ramirez popped up to the second baseman his first time up.
You can get Ramirez to chase a breaking ball as well, or he'll even chase the elevated fastball. And just like Viciedo, very aggressive hitter.
Bouncing ball left side in the hole. Peralta with the backhand. And Ramirez is out, 2 gone. Couple of ground ball outs. Hey, by the way, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. 2 up, 2 down for JV, and now Alex Rios will stand in. Rios had a base hit back in the first. White Sox did a little threatening in that first inning, single and a walk, but Keppinger hit into a force out. Drilled to center field. Jackson on the run, won't get it. This will go all the way to the wall. It's extra bases, maybe a triple. He'll round the bag and head to third, and he is in with a sliding 3-bagger. 2 for 2 for Rios.
And Verlander missed with his location. Avila wanted that ball outside. It kind of leaked right back over the middle of the plate. And a really good swing by Rios, who continues to have a good year for the White Sox.
See if Dunn can drive him in with 2 outs. Second triple of the year for Rios. Dunn had a base on balls in the first inning. White Sox got done, they expected that he would hit a lot of home runs. He is on pace again to hit 40 or more this season. He's done that 5 times in his career. But he's had some major struggles at times in a White Sox uniform. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dunn. First year with the White Sox in 2011, he hit just 159 and only 11 home runs. Rebounded with 41 dingers last year. Cabrera jawing with the runner at third. There's a ball inside. Here are the numbers. He went from 11 in 2011 to 41 last year. But the average was only 204. On the outer edge, a strike, 2-2. .41 total for JV, 28 strikes. White Sox trying to get a run in here with 2 outs. And the 2-2. Ground ball to third. Oh, Miggy had it played beautifully. Out at first base. Inning is over, no runs. A 2-out triple is stranded. And we are on our way to the bottom of the third here at the ballpark. No scores. Game so far here at Comerica Park. Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on the rotation for the White Sox. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Looks like the rotation's been holding their own.
A little bit more run support would certainly help them. But yes, otherwise, they're up there in a lot of the major categories. Quintana goes back to work. And he will face the number 9 hitter, Alex Avila, then Austin Jackson and Torrey Hunter. First pitch is grounded toward first foul. 0-1 on Avila. 5 hits on the road trip. 2 of those were big hits in Toronto, though. Big home run, 2-run double. And career, pretty good numbers against Chicago, 289. In the air, center field. On the move, De Aza. America swallows that one up, 1 gone. And they'll bring up Austin Jackson. Quintana last year started the season at Double-A and then was called up, made 22 starts at the major league level, and had an ERA of 3.76. There were times last year where he really impressed. And the White Sox the past couple of years have had some injuries to their rotation. This year is no different. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Petey on the DL, Gavin Floyd on the DL. Jackson fly to center back in the first. Now the 0-2. I mentioned all the no decisions that Quintana has gotten since coming to the big leagues. They've given him about 4 runs per start since the start of 2012, which is the 5th lowest in the American League. He has had to get it done without much offensive support behind him. Ball high and away, missed with a fastball, 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Jackson. Fly ball to center field his first time up, 0 for 1. Jackson had 12 hits on that road trip. Hunter waiting on deck. And the 2-2 inside, and now Jackson has run the count full at 3-2. Robin Ventura, skipper of the White Sox. Been a rough go so far on the south side of Chicago this year. Last year was his first season. Lifted back out of play. Robin led his team to 85 wins last year, and it looked late in the season like they would win the Central Division. The Tigers had caught them and went ahead down the stretch.
He's going to the All-Star game as well this year as one of Jim Leland's coaches. Robin played in New York.
Into the glove for strike 3. Jackson is out, 2 gone. And Quintana has his 4th strikeout of the game. Well, this Thursday, watch the Tigers take on these White Sox in a special 1:08 p.m. matinee. Tickets are still available at 866-66-TIGER or online at tigers.com. Final homestand of the year before the All-Star break kicks in. Ball high. Tigers have 6 participants, possibly 7 if Benoit wins the final vote. Chicago has 2 All-Stars, Crane, who is injured right now, and Chris Sale, who doesn't have very many wins, but a great ERA. Down the right field line, slicing away from Rios. He'll go into foul territory to make the catch. Tigers are out 1-2-3, and we go to the 4th.
against the Baltimore Orioles, and Jeff Jones, the pitching coach after that, told Verlander he was getting too high with the front shoulder. And because of that, the back shoulder was dropping, the arm was lagging, and he didn't have real good command. You can see how high that arm was. Verlander had a very rocky outing, gave up 5 runs in that game against the Baltimore Orioles, but he made the correction the next start. Really got down to the bottom of the zone, good changeups, well-located fastballs, and because of that adjustment, his last 2 starts have been more Justin Verlander-like.
And so far in this one, no runs on 3 hits for Chicago.
The ball was coming out of his hand very easy his last start against Toronto, and he was all the way up to 98, but there was no maximum effort going on.
12 of 14 first pitch strikes for Verlander. Keppinger, then Gillespie and Viciedo. Only 5 hits between the 2 teams in this game. And Keppinger sends a ground ball foul. Right at Joe McEwing down there in their coaching box.
Nice pick by Super Joe. That's what they used to call him.
Keppinger hit into a force. That ended the first inning. And the 0-2. Little chopper. This one will stay in play. Cabrera cuts it off. Quick gun is in time. 1 away here in the 4th inning. Second time Keppinger has hit the ball to Cabrera. There's Connor Gillespie. Gillespie struck out against Verlander back in the 2nd. He's 2nd right now among rookies in homers and hits. The White Sox traded for him in February from the San Francisco Giants.
He was stuck behind the Kung Fu Panda over there, huh?
That he was. Here he is now in Chicago. White Sox had a third baseman that used to just rake against the Tigers, Joe Creedy.
His career ended quickly with injuries.
Some of the information on Mr. Gillespie. Six homers this year. Here's the 1-1. High and outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
No batting gloves for Gillespie. Old school type player. Is that Will Myers we just saw on that last road trip who didn't use batting gloves either?
Right.
Rookie phenom for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Ball high, 3-1. Real old school. Not only doesn't he wear batting gloves, but he reaches down, grabs a handful of dirt. As you look at the numbers on Verlander, 50 now. And the 3-1. 3-2 on Gillespie.
And Verlander can go a couple different ways here with Gillespie. He can go back to that changeup and get him to swing and miss as he did the first time Gillespie was up there in the 2nd inning.
Popped up, foul ground. Heading back toward the seats. Nice play. Deserves a high 5 or 2 or 3.
And some knuckles.
One out, nobody on in the 4th. Gillespie, a former first-round pick of the San Francisco Giants. And again, the 3-2. Lifted in the air toward left. On the run, Tuiasa Sopo gets to the warning track. 2 gone. What are your impressions this year of the way Tui has played left field?
Well, we heard coming in that he was not a good defensive player as far as playing the outfield, but he's handled himself very nicely out there. And this is not the easiest left field to play, especially when the sun is out, because as a left fielder, you really don't get a good look at the baseball. And because of the sun, it's right in your eyes. But he's handled himself well out there.
I would agree. With some nice plays. Viciedo looks at a ball.
Tuiasosopo also made a real nice play in yesterday's game in Cleveland.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
And opposing pitchers just aren't throwing Viciedo any strikes right now. And I heard an interview with Robin Ventura, and Robin Ventura said that he's basically trying to catch up. He had a good year last year because he's hitting only .232 with 5 homers. He's trying to get back to those numbers with one swing.
That'll get through onto the reach of Perez into right field. He goes the other way with a 2-out single, keeping the inning going for Gordon Beckham. White Sox have their 4th hit in this ball game. 3 singles and a triple. And now Beckham, who singled back in the 2nd. Beckham spent some time on the DL this year. Broken hamate bone in his hand. And he looks at a strike. Since coming off the disabled list, 342. There was a rash of those hamate bone injuries several years ago. It seemed like everybody was getting them.
Yeah, you haven't heard many guys having that surgery as much as you used to.
Beckham is batting in the 8th slot. And over the years, he's done pretty well in this position in the lineup. 373 batting 8th for Chicago. Verlander missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Much was expected of Beckham when he was selected 8th overall back in the June 2008 draft out of Georgia. He shoots that one foul back to the screen.
He really hasn't been able to play his natural position, which is shortstop. When they called him up a few years ago, they put him at 3rd base, and he did okay there. And then they moved him over to 2nd base. He has played a few innings at shortstop this year, which is odd because Alexi Ramirez plays every single day. But Beckham got a few reps there.
Beckham came in this year as a career .245 hitter. A little bit of power. The 1-2 in the air. Center field. Jackson started back. Now he cruises in. And that is that for Chicago. No runs and a hit. 1 left. Miguel Cabrera will lead it off in the bottom of the 4th. Scoreless in this one.
Here's today's high-speed stat brought to you by Charter Internet. And Miguel Cabrera already has 28 homers. He's already driven in 90. And last year, 21 players finished with better numbers than 28 and 90. Only 21 players in baseball finished with the numbers that Miguel has already posted this season.
In half a year. It would be something to see him get to 100 RBIs before the All-Star break. Quintana brings it home. It's a strike, 0-1. Miggy and then Fielder and then Victor Martinez. Tigers have been limited so far to just 2 hits. Both singles, both in the second inning. Here's the 0-1 outside.
Quintana has thrown 35 pitches, and the majority of them have been strikes. He has only missed the strike zone with 10 pitches so far this evening.
Here's the 1-1. Of course, he only had an 8-pitch first inning. Quintana is a native of Colombia, 6'1", 215, only 24 years old. Here's the 2-1 coming home. 2-2.
And Tigers going to see quite a few left-handers the next few days. And they also saw one last night in Cleveland. One here tonight. They'll see one on Thursday. The one on Thursday, he's pretty good. His name is Chris Sale.
Sopo will get some extended playing time this week, you would imagine, for all the lefties the Tigers are facing. 2-2 on Cabrera. Miguel, by the way, now as he continues to pile up hits, and he has 125 this year. He's moving in on 2,000 for his career. There's a ball outside, 3-2. And Miggy needs just 73 more to reach the 2,000 plateau, and then he'll start an assault on 3,000. Prior to the All-Star break, Cabrera has more hits than anybody in Tigers history at 125 right now. 3-2 is hammered in the air to center, shallow. Here comes De Aza, and he'll make the play off the end of the bat. One gone. That'll bring us the AT&T trivia question. Name the last team to have 5 players finish a season with 80 or more RBIs each. The last team to have 5 of them. Fielder has 66 so far. Strike one on Trent. I'm told as a hint that it's in this century, which narrows it down considerably. Here's the 0-1. It's been a rough July for Fielder. Only 176 this month. One is popped up, foul. See if he gets back to the seats or the dugout. Both. 1-2. Pretty good gathering here tonight, Rod, considering all the rain at the start of the game tonight.
Tuesday night, after a real long holiday weekend.
Tigers, of course, had a big road trip, winning 7 of 11. Now the 1-2. Another foul back out of play.
Tigers fans come to this game in bunches, though. They're averaging over 35,000 fans a game here.
Well, Mr. Ellis just put a tremendous product on the field night after night, and Tigers fans are coming out to watch him play. Of course, a great base of Tigers fans has always existed in this town. There's a slow roller hit toward first. Dunn says, I'll take it. 2 gone. Well, next Tuesday, baseball's greatest stars gather in the most exciting city in the world for the biggest event of the summer. It's baseball's Midsummer Classic and returns to New York with home field advantage for the World Series on the line. It's the 2013 All-Star Game live from New York next Tuesday, and it's only on Fox.
And Prince Fielder will get a chance to defend his home run title. He has won a couple of them already. Only he and Ken Griffey Jr. are the only ones to win the home run title twice.
With 2 outs, there is a strike called on Victor Martinez. There was some thought that maybe Miggy might be able to enter in that home run hitting contest. His back, though, is too precious to fool with a home run hitting contest, so he will not participate.
Yeah, he was asked by Robinson Cano.
Yoenis Cespedes of the Oakland Athletics will be the final participant for the American League.
Do you have any idea how they decide on who's going to be the captain?
No, and Jim Leland was asking about that the other day. I have no idea why was Cano again the captain?
That's what I'm saying.
Prince won it last year.
Right, and Cano was the captain in Kansas City last year.
I don't get it. But anyway, Prince is in it. He'll defend his title.
I mean, I could see, well, David Wright is the captain for the National League and Cano for the American League, so both guys play in New York, but that doesn't help me regarding last year when Cano was the captain.
Two balls, 1 strike on Victor Martinez. 2 outs. Ball high. What are your thoughts on the home run hitting contest?
It's grueling. I do know that much, and it's a lot of swings. So I'm glad Miggy's not participating as much as I would have liked to see him in the home run hitting contest. Just too many swings for a bat that is not quite 100%.
Now the 3-1. Victor shoots one into left field. It's a 2-hit game for Martinez.
It really doesn't matter who the pitcher is, left-hander or right-hander. Victor Martinez is just in one of those zones right now.
You know, it's not going to be real long before Victor's up to 260, 270, and maybe beyond. Another 2-hit game, 11-game hitting streak for Martinez.
That last swing by Victor was a perfect example of what hitting coaches talk about, walking away from your hands, where you stride out with the front foot and then you take your hands back. They call that walking away from your hands.
Here's Johnny Peralta. Johnny looks at a strike.
Take a look at it here. Watch the foot go up and the hands go back. Very nicely done. And the reason I say that, you'll watch a lot of guys at this level, when they stride with that front foot, sometimes their hands are coming with their body as well. And you can have success that way, but you just can't do major damage that way if your hands are coming at the same time your body's coming forward.
Now the 1-1 to Johnny. Fouled down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, you wondered how long it would take Martinez to get his timing back after missing all of last year. Do you think it's been a timing issue for the most part in the first half?
I think it's a confidence issue, to be honest with you. When you start to struggle, I mean, when you've hit 300 from both sides of the dish and you get off to a 200 start, well, you're going to start to question some things. But he kept grinding. He kept working. And I think he got himself a few hits. He started hitting some breaking balls. And now I think he's back to where he was a couple of years ago.
And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. So Peralta goes down swinging. Quintana has 5 punch-outs.
nearly as high as it was a few starts ago. Therefore, throwing straight downhill, the fastball has lots of life on it, and he's able to locate the fastball, and it also makes this change pitch a much better pitch. Take a look at this changeup roll off of his fingers, fading down and away from the left-handed batters, and he's throwing both of those pitches out of the same arm slot and out of the same window with the same arm speed, and that's what makes him effective.
Verlander 5 via the ground, 5 via the air, and 2 strikeouts. Josh Fagley will lead it off. And then De Aza and Ramirez, 9-1-2 for Chicago. No runs, 4 hits for the visiting White Sox. No runs, 3 hits for Detroit. And Verlander goes back to work. Swing and a miss, 0-1 on Josh Fagley.
Fagley, good fastball hitter. Therefore, Verlander starts him off with a breaking ball. He hit a fastball out of the ballpark, his very first home run in Tampa off David Price, and he got Matt Garza in last night's game in Chicago.
Here's the 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes on Josh Fagley. 316, 15 homers in the minor leagues, 41 RBIs in just 61 games. The 0-2. He'll line that one softly to short. 1 out. Well, we had a delay to tonight's game, 38 minutes, but we've gotten it going, and it's been a good one so far from Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad you're with us tonight. Mark Isofano is our producer. Brian Moss, our director. Clouds still hovering around the ballpark, but no rain. Here's De Aza. Fly ball ground out for Alejandro De Aza. Driven foul back out of play. Here's the 0-1. Little chopper hit slowly. Verlander will take it himself. 1 unassisted, and there are 2 outs here in the 5th. It's going to bring up Alexi Ramirez. Really, all of the threats that Chicago has had in this game have all come with 2 outs. 2-out single and a walk in the first, 2-out triple in the third. Neither time the White Sox were able to get the big hit. Ball high, 1-0.
And take a look at the percentage of fastballs Verlander has thrown here this evening against the White Sox batters. Only 37% have been fastballs.
Ground ball, base hit into left field. Ramirez with a 2-out single.
And usually Verlander's about 50-50. Excuse me, that said 30% fastballs and 70% off speed. And usually Verlander right around 50% with his fastball.
Well, he's thrown 67 pitches so far. He's going to face Rios now. And again, it's a 2-out hit for Chicago. Rios had a pair of 2-out hits, single, triple. Verlander throws strike 1, fastball. And Rios breaking out a little bit with his 2 hits. He was hitting just 170 over his last 47 at bats. Soft line drive, and it's Perez to try and get it in the outfield grass. Can't do it. A base hit to right field, and that means Rios has 3 hits, and now they threaten with runners at first and third.
even though Perez has a lot of range at that second base position. Even if he's able to go over and field it cleanly, not going to throw Rios out. Rios runs way too well. You talked about the other 2 knocks that he's gotten today. That's a second one that's gone in that direction. Then he hit one in that left center field gap for a triple.
Here's Dunn. Swing and a miss. Rios has 3 hits, and he's seen just 5 pitches today for Verlander. Dunn is 0 for 1. He also has a walk.
And Miguel Cabrera on the left side of the infield by himself.
And that's exactly where Dunn hit his ground ball, right at Cabrera. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner breaks from first, a swing and a tip into the glove, no throw. Stolen base for Rios. That'll be his 18th.
And Verlander not all that concerned with Rios. He's got Adam Dunn in the hole. Adam Dunn has not had a lot of success against Verlander since coming to the White Sox.
And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ramirez at third base, Rios at second base, and Dunn trying to deliver the game's first runs. Now the 2-2. Fouled it off, just got a piece. Dunn stays alive. This year is the 10th season in his career that he's hit at least 20 homers prior to the All-Star break. A 6-pitch first at bat, 5 the next 2. And he sees quite a few. Third in the American League at 4.35 pitches per plate appearance. Fouled away again. 2-2 on Dunn. There's Keppinger waiting on deck. Dunn had most of his prodigious numbers with the Cincinnati Reds, routinely hitting 40 homers a year for the Reds. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Verlander comes back with 96 and throws it by. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Del Tire. brought to you by AT Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800. Pick AT&T. Rethink possible. Back here at the ballpark, it is still 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Tigers coming to the plate now against Jose Quintana, who's pitched some pretty good ball game tonight. 13 of 15 first pitch strikes. And that's 14 of 16 first pitch strikes. Tuiasosopo, Perez, Avila, bottom three in the Detroit lineup. And struck out looking. That was back in the second. He shoots that one foul back in the seats right above the White Sox dugout. Foul ball landed in her hands. I think he got back there quickly. Must have bounced around a couple times. There's a ball low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Unless she has some really good hands.
She's rocking that floppy hat. That Avila floppy hat. Turned it inside out, you know.
I'm not sure you can rock a floppy hat. Driven deep to left field, way back, and that one is gone. It's a line drive home run for Tuiasosopo.
Second consecutive day that Tuiasosopo has played long ball since coming off the disabled list. And one of the things that we pointed out about Quintana, when he does get 2 strikes on you, he likes to try to throw that fastball right by you, and that's a 4-seam fastball about felt buckle high and drilled by Tui.
Homer number 5 for Tuiasosopo, the power of the floppy hat. Perez with a bouncing ball to short. Ramirez on the backhand. Got him by half a step. Now got down the line quickly. 1 out. It had been a sleepy game in terms of getting somebody to cross home plate, but Tuiasosopo goes deep again. Bring up Avila. Fly to center field back in the third, 0 for 1. 1 run, 4 hits for Detroit, no run, 6 hits Chicago, but the White Sox have left 7 already on base. There's a strike called on Avila. Here's the 0-1. Quintana prior to this inning had scattered 3 singles. He had struck out 5, but Tuiasosopo catches up to the fastball and drills it over the left field wall. There's the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Avila had 5 hits on that recent road trip for the Tigers, coming off the disabled list and assuming the starting catching duties. The 2-1. Line drive caught by the second baseman Beckham. And there are 2 gone.
Let's take one more look at the powerful swing of Matt Tuiasosopo and the flight of the ball getting out of here over the Tigers bullpen. He's into it.
Fired up, man. Got herself a foul ball, handing out high fives, making some friends. Here's Jackson grounding one to third, scooped up there by Gillespie. Hitting over, but Tuiasosopo goes deep again. Crushed it. 1-0 Detroit. Matt Tuiasosopo, and you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's player of the game, presented by the new Detroit Tigers M&M McFlurry, only at McDonald's. Could be Tuiasosopo. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. If you'd like, you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Tui's got to be up there, so is Verlander. Verlander has scattered 6 hits. He's thrown a shutout so far as we go to the 6th inning. And Tuiasosopo, 5 homers this year in just 75 at-bats. A career high.
Pretty good ratio as far as the contact to damage is concerned.
Verlander back to work. Ball 1 inside to Keppinger. Keppinger, Gillespie, Viciedo, 5, 6, 7 in the Chicago lineup. Or as they say in the Windy City, Chicago lineup. 2 balls, no strikes.
We're headed to Chicago after the break for the very first time this year.
Always a fun trip. Here's the 2-0 pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. I can never figure it out, but when we come back from a road trip from Chicago,
your suitcase is always a little heavier.
Yeah, that and my visa statement is always a little thicker in the envelope. There's more pages to it. It just keeps going on and on.
Chicago will do that to you.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ball inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Sox offense has had just 16 runs in the last 8 games, and they've had 2 shutouts in that span. In the air to center. That's routine for Jackson, and he's there for the out. 1 gone, and time to go back to the studio now. Game break time with Trevor Thompson. All right, Trent, thanks. We certainly will keep our eyes on that game. The Tigers, courtesy of their win last night, 3.5 up on the Indians. Swing and a miss, 0-1 on Connor Gillespie.
Steady diet of changeups to Gillespie. This evening coming out of the hand of Verlander. And Gillespie having a difficult time of putting him in play.
Just off the edge of the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gillespie in this one, a strikeout and a flyout. Spent the last 2 years in AAA with San Francisco. A pretty good hitter in the minor leagues. Career .287 in the minors. Now the 1-1. In the air, left center. Jackson, Tuiasosopo, Tui for the out. 2 gone.
.96. And top fastball thrown this evening out of the hand of Verlander. And 75 would be a curveball. Thank you, Xfinity.
Viciedo, a single and a strikeout. Viciedo singled in the 4th, came with 2 outs. Again, the White Sox problem is that their uprisings have all come with 2 outs. They've not been able to get the key hit. There's the 1-0 outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Viciedo came in batting just .233 this year. And again, Verlander stays away, and the count goes to 3-0. Viciedo would not chase that time. Gordon Beckham waiting on deck. Went after the 3-0 pitch. Sends it foul. Long run. Perez almost got there. He covered a boatload of ground.
That's the scouting report on him, that he's got a tremendous amount of range at that second base position.
If you missed the announcement before the game, it was Infante being placed on the disabled list. Perez called up from Double-A.
And Tigers have been playing shorthanded. And you need more than just Don Kelly as your backup infielder.
Here's the 3-1. High, towering fly ball left field to Iyasosopo, back to the track, to the wall, and this one is going to carry out beyond the bullpen into the seats, and Viciedo has tied the game. A 2-out solo shot for Dayan Viciedo. 6th home run of the year.
Well, both left fielders have played long ball this evening. It's a 90-mile-per-hour fastball that is up around the belt buckle. It's outside on the black, but Viciedo is so strong, able to reach out there and get it and still hit it out of here.
Here's Beckham. He's going to pop up the first pitch in the shallow center. Jackson is under it. And that'll be it for Chicago. However, they tie it up with a home run by Viciedo. Coming up in the bottom of the inning, Hunter, Cabrera, fielder, 2, 3, 4 coming up for the Tigers. Team to have 5 players finish a season with 8 or more RBIs each. And the answer is the 2011 Boston Red Sox. They had Adrian Gonzalez, Ellsbury, Pedroia, Ortiz, and Youkilis. The Tigers have some guys that are on that pace. As Torrey fouls it off 0-1. Here are the guys for Detroit.
Torrey Hunter's done it several times. 5 of the last 7 years, Torrey Hunter's driven in 90 or more runs. Peralta's done it. Of course, Victor, Prince, and Miggy have all done it.
Wave and a miss. Quintana is 18 of 20 on first pitch strikes. He has given up a home run. That was to Iyasosopo in the 5th. Viciedo answered with a 2-out solo shot in the 6th. Tying it up. And the 0-2. Outside 1-2. These are two teams certainly headed in the opposite direction. The Tigers right now atop the the Central Division, having won 7 of 11 on the road trip. White Sox have lost 4 straight. They were swept by the Cubs, and 10 of their last 11. The 1-2 is a check swing. Didn't go. Visual evidence there by Will Little. 2-2. Chopper back up the middle. Ramirez. Hunter is out, 1 gone. The other thing the White Sox have struggled with this year is winning on the road. Well, winning period, but on the road it's been a little bit more difficult. 15-31 away from U.S. Cellular Field.
When you look at all their numbers up and down, other than the starting pitching, they're not good. Defensively, they have not been a good club. Hitting with runners in scoring position. They've thrown to the wrong base several times this year. It's not been a very good year for the White Sox. Nothing like the first year of Robin Ventura's tenure as their manager. And here's some of the offensive numbers. They are either dead last or close to last in several offensive categories.
Fouled away. There's Paul Konerko, and without Konerko, they are 4-15 and average 2.8 runs a game. Again, we've talked about the guys they've had on the disabled list. Konerko is one of them. Pulled to third base. Right there is Gillespie. Miggy is out. Here's the walking wounded for Chicago. Jesse Crain on the disabled list. A lot of chatter about Jesse maybe being traded.
He was having a sensational year before the shoulder sprain.
He's got a fractured rib. Tommy John for Gavin Floyd. Prince lines one foul. 2 out Tigers bat in the 6th, 1-1 game. Fielder with a fly ball and a ground out. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quintana has thrown only 73 in this ball game. He had an 8-pitch first inning. Stays away from Prince. The count goes to 2-1. $74 now is his total. Quintana signed as a free agent by the Sox in November of 11 after spending 4 years in the Yankees system. 2-2. Blemish on Verlander's mark tonight. The home run to Viciedo after falling behind him in the count. Tying the game at 1. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Fielder. Tigers in search of a 2-out runner. Victor waiting on deck. He already has 2 hits tonight. Outside, lost him. So Fielder, who came in 4th in the American League in walks, has another 2-out base runner for Detroit. First walk of the ball game for Quintana. We'll see if Victor can make him pay. Confab on the hill now as Fagley, the catcher, walks out. Singles by Martinez in the second and fourth innings. Game hitting streak now for the Detroit designated hitter. Had a rock solid road trip, 356 trip for Victor. And he popped him up. Foul ground, first base side. Dunn hauls it in, and just like that, the inning is over. Let's go to the seventh. His 14 and under receive a free Justin Verlander bobblehead. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com and score one of your Justin Verlander bobbleheads.
Looks pretty good. Only one blemish this evening on the resume of Verlander. He has pitched 6 innings and has given up the 1 home run, which is accounted for the only run that Chicago has been able to score.
So we go to the 7th. Josh Fagley will lead it off. And it's the top of the order. De Asa, Ramirez facing Verlander. JV, pitch count, great shape. There's a ball outside. So you go to the 7th. Verlander may have a couple more innings left in him. Fagley batting .250. He is 0 for 2 in this game. And that is right at the knees for a strike. Bouncer back up the middle. Johnny ranging left. Got him by a step, 1 gone. 0 for 3 for the number 9 hitter for the White Sox. Here is De Asa. For 3 for De Asa. Probably not a great sign when your leadoff hitter is second on the team in RBIs, but that's the case with De Asa. 40 of them this year. Dunn has 57 to lead their ball club. Swing and a miss, 0-1. 3 for his last 23 is Alejandro De Asa. Here's the 0-1 pitch.
The odds are tardy on those first two fastballs and thrown by Justin Verlander in this pitch sequence, and you can see him shaking his head in frustration.
Ball high.
Justin not throwing nearly as hard here tonight as he was 5 days ago in Toronto. He had his foot on the gas pedal early and often. And a lot of the fastballs he threw that day were 95 and above. Not so many today. Nice
breaking ball missing it.
Snapdragon there, missed at the bottom of the zone.
2-2 on De Aza with one gone. We're in the 7th inning. Tigers are running the homer by Tuiasosopo. Viciero tied it up with a homer in the top of the 6th. Now the 2-2. Foul. 2-2 the count stays. 37,000 plus in attendance tonight. 37,113 is your official attendance.
As a matter of fact, Verlander has thrown 98 total pitches so far, closing in on a 100. Only one pitch, 95 and above today.
Chopper slowly toward the shortstop. Johnny got a barehanded. No chance. Infield hit for De Aza, his first hit of the game.
When you see Johnny come in and barehand the ball, it's a necessity. And because that is really not part of Johnny's game. And Johnny much rather use the glove and then transfer into the hand to get to his outs. But with De Aza running, that's the only play Peralta had. About as fundamentally sound at that position as any in the game.
So the next pitch for Verlander will be number 100. Alexi Ramirez a single in 3 at-bats. That was the 8th White Sox hit. Most of them in this game have come with 2 outs. This one has come with 1 out. Tigers getting the bullpen working now. Ramirez 1 for 3. The only home run that Ramirez has hit this year was hit early in the season back on April 3rd against the Royals. He typically has more power than that here in July with only 1 long ball. Runner goes and it's popped up first base side. Prince coming over to make the play, and they're going to get a double play. Verlander covers. And De Aza is doubled up, ending the inning. Time to stretch. Big double play there ended that half of the seventh.
And Diaz must have not taken a peek in to see where that ball was. He was all the way on second base. And Verlander got to the bag, and Prince just shuffled it to him. And Diaz wasn't even in your picture.
And we'll see if the Tigers can break this 1-1 tie as we go to the bottom of the seventh. Johnny Peralta looks at a strike 0-1.
Even when you're stealing that base, you got to take about 4 or 5 steps. Then you look in, especially if contact is made, and then you know where the baseball is. And Diaz had no chance and did not know where that baseball was hit.
One run on 8 hits for Chicago. 1 run on 4 hits for the Tigers. Tuiasa Soplo with a homer. That's been it. The Tigers got the offense rolling in Cleveland, but they've been stifled for the most part tonight. Here's the 1-1. Rolled foul, 1-2.
We talked about Quintana at the beginning of the show and the fact that he's made 17 starts but only has 5 decisions. So he can be tough.
Quintana carried a no-hitter into the 7th inning on May 21st against Boston. David Ortiz broke it up with a base hit. Here's the 1-2 offering. Johnny cuts and misses. Second time he's fanned tonight.
Most of the pitches that Quintana has thrown have been cut fastballs, but that was a 4-seam fastball that Tuiasa Soplo hit out of the ballpark in the 5th inning.
Can he do it again? Strike 1 on the outer edge. Quintana has 6 strikeouts in this game. He's walked only 1. Tui batting .347 now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt earlier this year had a 5 RBI game against Atlanta, one of the big highlights of this season. Also a pinch hit home run in Washington. He's had some moments. Homered last night, homered tonight. Swing and a miss.
Unfortunately for Tuiasa Soplo in that game, although he did have a great game, he was overshadowed by Anibal Sanchez because Sanchez had 17 strikeouts in that game.
That will tend to overshadow anything that you can accomplish offensively. The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Perez waiting on deck. Young man called up from Double A today to replace Omar Infante, who was placed on the disabled list. And the 2-2. Ground ball left side. Ramirez. 2 gone. Well, Saturday the Tigers battle the Rangers 7:15. All fans invited to stick around, enjoy a fabulous post-game fireworks display. For tickets, here's the phone number 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. The Rangers, meanwhile, in a really good race out west with the Oakland Athletics.
Angels have gotten hot too. They've kind of gotten themselves back in that race in the West.
2 games under for the Halos. That's in for a strike on Hernan Perez.
That's what Mike Socha was saying when his club was here. And that no one's really going to take you seriously until you get back to that 500 mark.
The 0-1. 0-2. Perez has chased a couple of pitches tonight. And earlier at that, back in the first, one that was up way out of the strike zone. That one was in the dirt. 6th year in the Tigers organization. Perez, only 22 years old, out of Venezuela. He lifts this one in the air to center field, chasing De Aza back. Quintana has himself a 1-2-3 inning. That means we go to the 8th. Meyer. Text Meyer to 37338 to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack that any baseball fan would love. Meyer math means savings that really add up. At Meyer, the math always works in your favor. Not a whole lot of math in the ball game tonight. We have not had too many runs as Don Kelly takes over in left field for the Tigers, replacing Tuiasa Sopo. Justin Verlander now, as we update his numbers against the White Sox. We told you coming in they were really good in recent starts. ERA of 1.79.
Yeah, they've only been able to muster a .218 batting average against the Tigers ace in their last 6 meetings.
We are tied at 1 run apiece as we go to the 8th. It'll be Alex Rios to lead it off. Rios, Dunn, Keppinger, which is the 3, 4, and 5 part of their lineup. And he shoots one to left, base hit.
Have a day, Rios.
Leadoff single as the Tigers warm up the bullpen now. Albuquerque and Koch. That's 9 hits now for Chicago. And if you're Rios, you're not wasting any time. He's had 4 hits tonight on just 6 pitches from Verlander. Now Dunn. Tigers have it played to pull. Ball outside. .102 now for JV. You see the ratio there. Really good. Runner goes. Here comes the Avila throw. The tag. Oh, he's safe at second base. Just beat it.
Second steal of the evening for Rios to go along with the 4 hits he's gotten today against Verlander. And Verlander allowed him to get too big a jump. Avila, although he made an accurate throw. And Rios was on his way up. But when the ball got into the hand of Johnny Peralta, or I should say glove, of Peralta.
19 stolen bases for Rios. In for a strike. 2-1 on Adam Dunn. 240 this year for Dunn with men in scoring position. Which may not seem much, but he's hitting .203 overall. So with that as a backdrop, it seems a little bit better. White Sox have had trouble winning in this ballpark. Last 2 years, 3-15 at Comerica. 7 straight losses here. Trying to take the lead, and a ball low. 3-1. White Sox tonight 0 for 3 with men in scoring position. Keppinger waiting on deck. Big swing there, 3-2.
Good change up there by Verlander, knowing that Dunn is sitting on that fastball, and was able to pull the string on him, and he kept it down at the bottom of the zone, and Adam Dunn swung right over the top of it.
Driven deep to right field on a line. That ball is gone. A laser of a home run by Adam Dunn. And the White Sox have taken the lead. It's 3-1 Chicago.
That is now the 10th home run that Verlander has given up this year, and the 24th of the year for Adam Dunn. We're going to make it our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Verlander came after him and fell behind him, and to the tune of a 3-1 count before he threw him that changeup 3-1. He got him to swing through that. Then he came back with a 94-mile-per-hour fastball that was scorched by Dunn for a 2-run homer.
Which leaves him 1 home run behind Cal Ripken for 43rd all-time on the home run list. That was a big one for Chicago. It puts them ahead 3-1. Their 10th hit of the game. Keppinger, the batter. Ball outside. Still nobody out in this inning. Coke and Albuquerque have been warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Little pop-up, shallow right field, and it's going to drop just out of the reach of Perez. That'll be 3 straight hits and probably the end for Verlander. "11 hits now. Wheeland has made his way to the stairs, but he hasn't climbed them yet. 110 pitches in this game. Gillespie strolling in, and JV stays in the game. Justin has thrown as many as 126 in a ball game this year.
The 11 hits given up by Justin Verlander this evening, the most hits that any team has gotten against him this year. He had a start where he had given up 10, but no starts where he had given up 11 knocks.
Runner goes, and there's a base hit to right.
That'll be the end of the night for Verlander.
He'll go first and third now, a single for Gillespie. That's 12 hits, and now the skipper stepping to the top step to the dugout, and here he comes. 4 straight hits, and Verlander will depart the scene as the Tigers go to the bullpen. They'll bring in Albuquerque. Chicago leading this one 3-1. The JV was cruising along.
These 5 is because by and large they're all setup men, and setup men are usually overlooked as far as the All-Star game is concerned. You take the best starters and then you usually take all the closers, but it's the setup men a lot of times that do a lot of the heavy lifting during the regular season, and they don't get recognized for it.
You know, I saw one of the national writers saying, why in the world would not Leland put the excess third baseman in the final vote? All those guys that certainly deserved it, but I'm kind of with him on this. I'm glad to see guys that don't get the recognition giving a chance now.
And he talked about Benoit, and he said it wasn't so much this year with Joaquin, but he said basically it's Joaquin's last 4 years, one of those years spent in Tampa and 2 prior to this year, that prompted him to put Joaquin on the list.
So Albuquerque comes in now in the wall-side windows pitching change.
Albuquerque checks in 1-2 this season. The 21 walks are an issue for Albuquerque. He has 37 strikeouts. He always has that good slider to get strikeouts, but one thing he can't do is he can't continue to walk people if he expects Jim to use him late in games in pressured situations.
Infield coming in for the Tigers, Viciedo the batter. Runners at first and third. Al drops in a breaking ball, strike 1. Critical now for Albuquerque to keep this a 2-run game, although it'll be difficult with nobody out, runners at the corners. Viciedo hammers one high in the air and deep into right field. That ball is way back. Hunter turns on it, and it's going to go. It's a home run.
He's left the building twice today.
Viciedo with his 3rd hit, solo shot in the 6th, and now a 3-run shot here in the 8th.
And for an offense that came in scuffling and struggling, they've kind of flexed their muscles here this evening at Comerica Park. That ball is up and out of the strike zone at 91 miles an hour, and gives you an idea of the strength of Viciedo.
5 runs on 5 straight hits, and 4 of the runs in this inning will belong to Verlander, so he's going to be tagged with 5 overall tonight. 6-1 Chicago. Ball inside to Gordon Beckham. 6 on 13 hits. White Sox lead by 5. You know how things can change really in the blink of an eye. Verlander had given up 1 run through 7 innings. He had thrown 100 pitches. He came out of the 8th. Single homer, single. Now Albuquerque gives up the homer.
Six runs equals combined total of the last 4 games for the White Sox. That was down in Tampa, and then 1 game against the Cubbies last night.
Done with a 2-run shot. Viciedo has hit a 3-run homer. 3-1 is a chopper to second. Perez on the backhand. That's the first out of the game. 1 gone. Beckham retired. This is the first career multi-homer game for Dayan Viciedo, and he's enjoying it right now. That'll bring up Josh Fagley. For 3 tonight for the number 9 hitter for the White Sox. And Albuquerque brings in a strike. 0-1. Tigers tonight have been out hit 13-4. White Sox offense waking up for Jose Quintana. 0-2. First round pick, Fagley, back in 2009 out of Indiana. Indiana University, to be exact. Swing and a miss. He went fishing there.
You talked about how quickly it happened. Here's Rios. He led off the inning with a solid single, his 4th of the day. Dunn followed with a 2-run shot. Keppinger single. And then you have Gillespie single. And then you have the second big fly of the evening after Albuquerque comes on a 91-mile-per-hour fastball up around his neck.
So with 2 outs, here is De Aza, the 8th man to bat in the inning. Of the 13 hits for Chicago, 9 of them are singles. They have 3 homers in this game. Viciedo has 2 of them. De Aza infield single back in the 7th. And he drives one to right field, sinking, base hit right in front of Torrey Hunter. Second hit of the night for De Aza. Alexi Ramirez will bat as they hit around in this 5-run 8th. 1 for 4 tonight for Ramirez. Lexi had a single back in the 5th, his only hit. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball left side. Peralta, tough play. His throw, not in time. A hit for Ramirez. And the inning is still going.
The only play that Johnny had was to throw the ball to second base. They had to try to get Diaza, but Diaza too much speed. Able to get that infield single for Alexi Ramirez, and that is now 15 hits. And posted by the White Sox batters. Everybody in their starting lineup has a hit, with the exception of the rookie catcher, Fagley.
Rios looks at a ball inside. He started this inning with a single, then stole a base and scored on the rocket of a home run by Adam Dunn. He is in search of a 5-hit game. And he's got it. That's going to drop in. Base hit. That'll get another run in. Rios is 5 for 5. And it's 7-1 Chicago. Ugly, ugly 8. Ugly. Here comes the skipper. Phil Koch's going to be summoned in out of the bullpen now. It's going to be the 39th RBI of the year for Rios, who I would venture to guess is having the best game of his season so far. All of a sudden, a 1-1 game has gone to 7-1. In game 2 in this series.
And Porcello trying to even his record up to 500. And with the 74 strikeouts, 19 walks, of course, Porcello is always around the strike zone. Axelrod, he's not going to overpower you. His fastball doesn't get much above 90. He is 1-3, lost 5, and has an ERA that is approaching 5.
Here is Mr. Porcello. He'll get the baseball tomorrow.
Looks like he got him a clean-cut haircut. Fresh shave, looking like he's about 18 years old.
And hopefully he'll be pitching like a veteran tomorrow night. Well, what's going on around the big leagues? News and notes. I told you that Steve Delabar is leading the final vote, and Joaquin currently 4th.
How about Raul Ibanez? Got 20 homers and 50 RBIs.
I was reading these news and notes before the game, and I thought to myself, how does he have 50 RBIs at the break? Not even at the break yet. Ibanez.
He should be an all-star this year.
And Ryan Braun, activated from the disabled list yesterday, missed 22 games. Well, Rios having himself a night. The only player ever to have 4 hits off Justin Verlander. How about that?
And Verlander's been in the movies for quite some time now.
They looked that up quickly. Obviously, that's in a game, not total, but 4 hits in a game. It's his 4th career 5-hit game.
Verlander gave up 12 hits here today. He only gave up 12 hits one other time last year. That was to the Kansas City Royals. So the Chicago White Sox able to do something here tonight against Verlander that doesn't happen very often. Twice in the last 2 years.
Wall side windows pitching change. Phil Koch on for the 28th time this year. And he is facing Dunn, who bats for the 2nd time. It was his home run that broke the tie, and they've just continued to pile on. 7-1 ball game. And he shoots one back up the middle into center. They're pouring it on now. Here comes Alexi Ramirez. Throw comes into 3rd, and it overshoots Cabrera.
Oh, got lucky there.
But it hits the railing, bounces back. And so Dunn gets his 2nd hit of the inning. Ramirez scores. And it's getting a tad ugly now.
17 hits. That is the season high in hits for the White Sox this evening.
Meanwhile, Cabrera comes up holding his side, which has been bothering him after he made a leaping attempt for that throw. 8-1 ball game. It's turned into a 7-run inning, and here is Keppinger. In for strike one. 17 hits for Chicago. Keppinger 1 for 4. Had a single earlier in the inning and scored a run on the home run by Viciedo. Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers were catching the White Sox at a low point. They had lost 10 of 12 in 4 straight. But tonight they put up 8 runs on 17 hits. Ball low, 2-1.
Tough travel last couple of days for the White Sox as well. They were down in Tampa on Sunday, flew back to Chicago for 1 game last night, and then didn't get to their hotel here in the Motor City until 3 a.m. But you wouldn't know it by the way they played here tonight.
Montana trying to keep loose. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3-1. The Indians have defeated the Blue Jays. That's a final score 3-0. Only had 4 hits and beat the Jays.
Jimenez pitched for them tonight, I believe.
He did.
Wow.
So Cleveland pulls to within 3 pending the outcome of this one, possibly 2.5. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It gets away from Avila, but it's ball 4, and that's below the bases. And the Tigers just can't get the final out of this inning.
Tigers had an outstanding road trip where they won 7 of 11. They have played their best baseball right here at Comerica Park. They have won a lot of games here the last calendar year, but today, just not their day.
Evan Reed is heating up. Connor Gillespie for the 2nd time in the inning. Singled earlier in the frame, is 1 for 4. Oh, 1. Verlander started the inning, then Albuquerque, and then Phil Koch. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. They are still loaded for the White Sox. Rios and Dunn and Keppinger. Koch missing off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jeff Jones picks up the telephone. Reed has been warming up. And the 2-1. Lifted back out of play, 2-2. Again, the 17 hits tonight for Chicago ties a season high. And a good majority of them here in the 7-run 8th inning. So for as difficult as this season has been for Robin Ventura, tonight the bats have come alive. And the 2-2 pitch. It is rolled toward first base. Prince waiting for it. And that'll end the inning. 7-run eighth. Chicago with an 8-1 lead. To you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, the official window company of Fox Sports Detroit. Well, the White Sox scored 7 in the 8th, and now they lead 8-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Quintana, who had to sit down for quite a while, is now back on the hill, but he's enjoying a 7-run spread. First pitch grounded toward first base. Adam Dunn will take it himself. 1 pitch and 1 out. It was a 24.5-minute half inning that Quintana had to sit down for. I'm glad he take it, though. Changes defensively. Alejandro Diaz has moved to left. Blake Tecote is now the new center fielder.
Diaza actually prefers to play left field. He's not all that comfortable in center field, but he's much more comfortable in left field.
Strike one on Austin Jackson.
And meanwhile, you got to give Quintana his props. He's pitched a very good game. First pitch strikes the majority of the evening on the majority of the Tigers hitters, and nothing really fancy. I mean, 4-seam fastball at 93. He's had a little cutter, very few changeups and breaking balls, and he's been able to slow down the best offense in the majors.
To the tune of just 1 run in this game, the home run by Tuiasosopo. Rolled foul by AJ.
Coming in, his numbers were no fluke anyway. I mean, the ERA was respectable. He hadn't won a lot of games because he hasn't gotten a lot of run support. Yeah, but this is his 3rd start against the Tigers, and he's pitched well against Detroit in the 2 prior starts.
Here's the 1-2. Way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Only 1 stressful inning today, and that's not really all that stressful. In the 4th inning, he needed 20 pitches.
Swing and a miss. Jackson tried to hold up. 2 outs here in the 8th. Coming up after the telecast here tonight, we'll go to the Call Sam Studios. Tigers Live postgame coming up. All the reaction from manager Jim Leland. We'll talk to the players as well and bring you a breakdown of this one. Trevor and Simo holding it down at the Call Sam Studios tonight, so stick around for that. There's a strike called on Hunter. Here's something that's really going to be impressive. 26 of 29 on first pitch strikes.
I don't think we've seen anybody that good this year. Not that many first pitch strikes.
The base hit back up the middle. 2-out single for Torrey. Tigers tonight have had 12 at-bats that have lasted 2 pitches or fewer. The quick outs have really aided Quintana tonight.
Well, when you have a guy that's throwing as efficiently with the first pitch strikes, you have to swing early. And that's why the Tigers have swung at a lot of the first couple of pitches. They've been already down in the count.
Miguel Cabrera is 0 for 3.
That would be quite troublesome if there was a guy out there who was wild and, not really all that efficient in his first pitch strikes. But they've been forced into doing that this evening.
That'll get by Fagley, and to second base Torrey goes. Pass ball. That's his second of the game.
It is.
(8-1) Chicago. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning in a ball game that was delayed by 38 minutes because of rain at the start. Foul back, and now it's 1-1 on Miguel. Tigers tonight have been out hit 17-5. Quintana has just hit the 100 plateau. There's the breakdown. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Cabrera.
It's been a while since we've seen so many of the Tigers hitters swing right through 89-mile-per-hour fastballs.
Here's the 1-2 offering. Driven. Left center field. Hit well. That ball is gone. A home run. Cabrera shoots the gap in left center. 29th home run of the year. 2 out. 2-run shot.
Yeah, most of the crowd has left here, but the crowd that has stayed got a treat here. It's a little breaking ball from Quintana, who had just thrown a fastball right by Miguel at 89 miles an hour, tried to trick him with the breaking ball, and Miguel wasn't having any of that.
RBIs 91 and 92. 8-3 ball game. An outfielder. Prince fouls it back out of play. 350th career home run. And counting. Got Don Cooper feeling a little bit edgy. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Prince. Fielder 0 for 2 with a walk. 2-out single by Hunter, and then the home run by Cabrera. Ground ball to second. Diving stop there by Beckham. They'll throw him out, ending the inning. Tigers showing a little bit of life, though, here in the 8th. Cabrera goes kaboom. Summary was Chicago on top of the Tigers 8-3. The White Sox busting this one open with 7 runs on 9 hits in the 8th inning. Rio's having a big night tonight, to say the least. And Verlander 7+, 12 hits, 5 earned runs. So as we go to the 9th inning, got a new pitcher now for the Detroit Tigers. That would be Evan Reed.
Evan Reed is now pitching in his 8th game. He's given up 1 earned run, and he's held his own since he has been here. 9 strikeouts, just a couple of walks for Reed. Real good numbers down in Toledo.
So Reed will face Blake Tecote to lead things off. Then Beckham, then Figley, bottom 3 in the lineup for Chicago. Tecote looks at a ball high, 1-0. Blake recalled for the 2nd time from Charlotte. That was back on July the 5th, their AAA team. Here's the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Simon Castro warming up now in the Chicago bullpen. Tecote waiting on the 2-0 pitch. Had ripped, fouled it straight back, 2-1. Tigers went to the bullpen in the 8th inning. Albuquerque and Koch pitched, and now Reed here in the 9th. And the 2-1 outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Cody is out of the San Diego system. Played with the Padres last year very briefly. We'll foul that one back out of play, 3-2. Played his college ball at Miami, University of Miami. Gordon Beckham waiting on deck. Cody showed some power in the minor leagues. 19 homers in Double-A back in 11. 3-2 pitch. Got him, strike three. He was headed to first base. Eric Cooper says, take a right turn, young man.
It's at the bottom of the zone, way too close for Cody to take. He thought he was going to get a walk, but Eric Cooper, strike three.
Cooper not in the giving mood. One gone. Here is Gordon Beckham. He is 1 out of 4 tonight. And Beckham takes outside. Tigers will have Martinez and Peralta and Kelly in the bottom of the 9th inning. 5-run deficit right now. Cabrera has homered. Lifted back out of play.
I don't know what it is about the Tigers, but usually when they come off a very long road trip, that first game back home is usually a very sluggish game.
Well, they had a short trip from Cleveland last night, but it was weird start times in Cleveland. You had the night game, then the 4 o'clock, the 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Rain delay.
Yeah, 11 days. 4-game series. 1 in Toronto, 1 in Cleveland.
Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball foul.
That's why they win last night was a very good win. And when you play that Sunday afternoon and you got to wait around Monday to play Monday night, when most of the teams would have given you a day game, makes the trip a little longer, but to get that win, you don't mind it as much.
Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fagley waiting on deck.
He's the only one that has started here for the White Sox tonight that doesn't have a hit.
Here's the 2-2. Back out of play. Reed has been up a couple of times here with the Tigers. Good live arm, that fastball, mid-90s. Trying to keep this one a 5-run spread here, heading to the bottom of the 9th. And again, the 2-2. Bouncing ball left side, base hit. It is a season high now for Chicago, 18 hits. And the second for Beckham. So here is Fagley. He's hit the ball in the air a couple of times. He's grounded out and struck out. And a wave and a miss. .214 average now for Fagley. Came in 3 for 10 to start his major league career. First major league homer was hit against David Price of the Tampa Bay Rays. Into the glove for strike 2. A lot of breaking stuff to Fagley.
They've been throwing Fagley breaking stuff all night.
And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. He fans for the second time tonight. And On a night in which the Sox have 18 hits, he's 0 for 5, and here's how the rest of the White Sox box score looks.
Yeah, steady diet of breaking balls to him, and usually that's the scouting report when you go up against a young kid. They can hit fastballs, but breaking balls, a little troublesome. A lot of crooked numbers up and down as far as the hits today for the White Sox.
Here is Alejandro De Aza. A couple of hits tonight for De Aza. An infield single. Then he singled in the 8th. That 7-run 8th inning is the most in a single frame this year for Chicago.
Apparently Evan Reed has learned how to command his fastball in a Tigers uniform because he had issues while he was in Texas's organization and the Marlins organization. But I really have not seen that wildness that they talked about in him earlier in his career.
No, we haven't seen much of it. And again, that arm intrigues you. A guy that can throw mid-90s. The last pitch at 95. And he's ahead here. 0-2. Low. They want the appeal, but he didn't go. So Jeff Kellogg down at third. One ball, 2 strikes. Quintana keeping the Tigers off balance for the most part tonight. They have hit 2 home runs against them. 2-run shot by Cabrera in the 8th inning. Here's a 1-2. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. By the way, that home run by Cabrera gives him 29 now. The most by a Tiger before the All-Star break.
Ever?
Ever.
Ever?
Ever. What hasn't this guy accomplished? There's something new, it seems, every night. Bouncing ball, another base hit.
Mommy, make him stop it.
That'll be the 3rd hit of the night for De Aza. 19 hits for Chicago. Most RBIs prior to the All-Star break in Tigers history. We're seeing if Cabrera can get to the 100 plateau before the break. Greenberg did it. That was way back in 1935 when he knocked in 103 prior to the All-Star break.
That is a lot of stakes. And when Hank did it, you know, there was pitchers that he would see the entire game. And there weren't a lot of specialists. There weren't 7, 8, 9 inning guys. Now Miguel might see 4 different pitchers on any evening. Which makes that a little bit more impressive.
Vila now will come out to have a chat with Reed. 2 more hits here in the 9th inning for Chicago. They lead 8-3, and they have 19 hits. 2 of those by Ramirez. And the pitch is drilled down the left field line. It's going to hook, though, and go back out of play. Who's skinnier, Alexi Ramirez or Chris Sale?
I'm going to have to go.
It might be a push.
No, I'm going to go Chris Sale. I walked in their clubhouse today. He's a slender fella.
Yes, he is. And so is Ramirez.
And he was coming out of the weight room, too.
The 0-1 pitch is grounded, and it's going to get through. Another hit. And that'll score another run. Throw comes to third, not in time. It's a single for Alexi Ramirez. 9-3.
Yeah, they're not letting up here this evening, and they're running the bases, going first to third, even though they got a big lead in the game.
To make it an even 20 hits. Yikes.
And Perez at that second base position has a lot of range, but he's not been able to flag down some of these ground balls that have gotten through the hole. Great effort, though. Torrey Hunter comes up and fires that ball to third base, but not in time.
6-run lead now for Chicago. And Rios is going to get a chance now for a 6-hit game.
He took a pitch. He had been swinging at everything.
5 for 5. And the 0-1. 1-1 on Rios. Well, there you go.
Hasn't seen many pitches. And he's never had 6 hits in a game either.
The interesting thing is he came in hitting just $170 over his last 47 at bats. He had been going through a slow stretch, but he has busted out of it here tonight. 16 of the 20 hits tonight for the White Sox are singles. But they've hit 3 big home runs in this game as well. Bouncing ball right side, right by Prince into right field, score another run.
I wonder if the base runner disrupted the attention there of Prince Fielder.
Let's see. Maybe.
And Ramirez kind of held up until that ball went right past and kind of stood right in front of Prince. I don't know if he ever saw it.
I don't think he did.
To be perfectly honest with you, and I'm not making an excuse for him, it just looked like he never saw that ball.
Might be another hit.
They gave it a hit already.
Oh my goodness, 6 for 6.
First time in his history of his career he's gotten 6 hits in a game.
– 10-3 ball game, a 6-hit night for Rios. Dunn batting again, batted twice in the last half inning. There's a strike call. 21 hits now for the Chicago White Sox. Dunn had the big blow. It was tied at 1, hit a 2-run shot off Verlander in the 8th. And they would go on to score 7 times. Ball outside, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 3-1 on Dunn. They got the shift on him defensively. Perez, the second baseman, is way out to the outfield grass.
Well, if Dunn gets himself a fastball here, he's going to be trying to hit it out of the ballpark. He's already hit 1 out today.
Ground ball back up the middle. Johnny ranging the other way. His throw not in time. It's an infield hit for Dunn. His 3rd hit in the last 2 innings. Now Jeff Jones coming up. The shift hurt the Tigers that time.
Well, when you overshift, every now and then that batter is going to hit one in an area where you can't make the play. You can see Johnny, he is on the second base side of second base. And by the time he gets over to his regular position and throws off balance, Dunn doesn't run very well, but runs well enough to get an infield single. And he doesn't get many of those.
Well, Luke Picona now starting to warm up. Dunn's going to come out and get a pinch runner for him down at first base. Brent Morrell. Two more runs in the inning. They've got the bases loaded. Keppinger batting. Ball one. Evan Reed has thrown 32 pitches here in the ninth inning. Here's the 1-0. Chopped slowly toward third base. Can you believe this?
Boy, oh boy.
It is an infield hit, scoring another run. 11-3. Second hit of the night for Keppinger. It's now a 3-run ninth inning, and there it is. 23 hits on the night for Chicago. Easily a season high. In fact, the 6 hits by Rios ties a White Sox franchise record. This keeps going, he might get another at bat. Gillespie lines one to center field, right at Jackson to end the inning. Bottom of the ninth coming up. It's now 11-3 White Sox.
Head and shoulders, and what a night it was for Jose Quintana. He's not going to get a no decision here tonight. He's going to get a win. 7 strikeouts in the game. He had that 89 to 91 mile per hour fastball cutter. And working today. Very few breaking balls, but able to slow down this Tigers offense with the exception of a couple of long balls. One off the bat of Tuiasa Sopo, the other off the bat of Miguel Cabrera.
So we have a new pitcher now for the Chicago White Sox as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Simon Castro.
Only one outing this year, and it came just a few days ago against the Rays. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks. He had 4 strikeouts and threw 51 pitches against the Rays.
It's been one of those nights for the Chicago offense in which they would like to bottle. Chicago in this game putting up a lot of their hits late in the contest. Last time they had 23 hits against Detroit. 19-26. At least 23 or more hits. Historic evening for their offense. So the White Sox looking for the final 3 outs here to get a victory in Game 1 in this series. Victor Martinez will lead it off. A couple of his tonight, 2 singles. 11-3 Chicago. First pitch is outside to left-handed batting Martinez. Got some changes. There's the former Tiger Casper Wells. He's playing in right field. Brent Morel will stay in the game and play first. Bouncing ball, fair ball, and gloved at first by Morel.
Well, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it is Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And it was a game when Dunn stepped to the dish in the 8th inning. It was a 1-1 game. There was 1 runner on base, and Verlander tried to throw a 3-2 fastball by Dunn at 94. And Dunn was able to catch it out in front and hit a line drive into the right field seats. And really, that was all they needed at the time.
Here's Johnny Peralta with 1 out. Fouled off and don't play 0-1. Johnny 1 for 3. This, believe it or not, was a 1-1 game heading to the 8th inning when the White Sox scored 7 times. Good pitch, and he gets out in front 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 on the inside corner. And there are 2 gone now here in the 9th. Tigers had won 9 of the last 11 against the White Sox.
There was a lot of positives at the beginning of this game that pointed in the favor of Detroit. Verlander's last 13 games against the White Sox, he had won 12 of those games and he only lost 1. But that's why they play the game.
Strike 1 on Don Kelly, getting his first at bat. And the White Sox played the game better tonight. 11 runs on 23 hits. Here's the 0-1. 0-2 on Kelly.
Score could be a lot uglier. They left 13 men on base.
Now Castro in search of the final strike to close this one out. Ball high, 1-2. And the 1-2. Driven to right field. That ball is going to go. It's out of here. Don Kelly has hit a line drive home run to right.
4th home run of the season for Donnie Kelly.
3rd Tigers homer this evening, 11-4. Giving those that have stuck around tonight something to cheer about.
And Castro tried to trick him with that same hanging breaking ball that he was able to strike Peralta out with, and DK was waiting on it.
Hernan Perez will stand in. Swing and a miss. Perez in his big league debut for this year is 0 for 3. And he pops it up. Should do it. Beckham to the grass. And the White Sox win Game 1 convincingly here tonight at Comerica Park. Quintana was really good for Chicago. 11-4 your final score. Back with more from the ballpark.